everyone. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I apologize. We started about 2 minutes late. Tonight we're going to be doing our virtual Virginia information session. We have Dr. Wallace, our assistant superintendent, that is joining us, and she may talk a little bit during this presentation, and also Mr. James Walker, who is our technology coordinator for the district. So we're going to go over the different slides that we have available for you, and then we'll have a question and answer session to where you can ask questions throughout. You can actually start that now. On the bottom, you should see a question and answer tab. Anytime you want to ask a question, please just fill that information out and send it to us. And as we work through this presentation, we'll be sure to answer those questions at the end. So the table of contents here, you can see we're going to be going over what Virtual Virginia is, the academic calendar. There are some things different this year as compared to last year in regards to the instructional platform and the requirements. And we'll be discussing all of that in attendance. We'll be discussing all of that through this during this presentation. So what is Virtual Virginia? Virtual Virginia is the only option we have at Prince Edward County Public Schools for kids to attend school virtually. And we're going to be offering that for this school year, the upcoming school year, 2022-2023. The teachers are fully qualified through the Virginia Department of Education, and they'll be teaching the same standards of learning and competencies that Prince Edward County Public School teaches. And how does it work? Well, students will complete schoolwork from home completely online using the learning management system, Canvas. They will be taught by a virtual Virginia teacher using a combination of live classes on Zoom and asynchronous independent work. Students will follow the virtual Virginia calendar and schedule, not the Prince Edward County Public School calendar. The terms we'll use during this presentation, synchronous and asynchronous. Synchronous is much like what you're experiencing right now. It's real live time. It's through video and audio option, where asynchronous, the student does work on their own. They do it independently. The academic calendar, and this presentation is available on our division's website. Right now, I'm just kind of giving you an overview, but once you access this presentation, there's various links in the presentation where you can click, and it'll take you to the full, like for example, the full calendar on this is just up through December, but if you click this, it'll take you through the whole year. So be sure to interact with the presentation to get more information. So what we're getting ready to talk about is the instructional formats. And last year, Virtual Virginia really didn't offer anything besides K through 5 and 6 through 12. They have a couple different options this year to make it more flexible for the population or the students they serve. So the first is the core K through 5. And very similar to what they did last year. Your students or your child will log on to every day, and they would receive synchronous instruction, and then they'll have asynchronous learning assignments or tasks. And through this program, Virtual Virginia provides Virginia Certified Teacher of Record, and what that is the teacher through Virtual Virginia. Access to the Virtual Virginia Learning Management System, which is Canvas, and core asynchronous content. So that's some of the work that the students will do independently, and high quality synchronous instruction. Students participate in core instructional activities in reading and language arts, mathematics, social studies, science, and STEM. And STEM, as I'll show you in a second, is more so on 1 day a week. And they're going to give you an example, and on this example, it's Wednesday. The local enrolling school retains the autonomy to provide additional specials or student services like screeners and diagnostics, benchmarks, SOL assessments. All that will be done through Prince Edward County Public Schools. In many cases, we'll ask that student to come on campus to receive those diagnostic standardized assessments. So I'm going to click this link right here, the core K through 5, and show you what that would look like for your child. And again, this is only a sample. Actually, let me hit the sample schedule. I clicked the wrong link. So you can see the classes are reading and language arts. It's about an hour and 5 minutes, but the whole group reading is 20 minutes. They really break it down what the student will be doing throughout that hour. For the STEM, you can see they set one day aside to have STEM instruction, and that is being shown here on this sample calendar. You can see a lot of the asynchronous work or small group or one-on-one instruction starts at 10:45 through the rest of the day. And asynchronous instruction is also provided through the regular school days on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. If you want more information about the Virtual Virginia Core K through 5 program, once you have access to this presentation, you can click this link and it will take you to Virtual Virginia's website where it can give you some more information. Also on this presentation is a link to the handbook, to the Prince Edward County Public Schools Virtual Virginia Handbook. And this is something new that we have this year. It just really provides all the information you could possibly want about Virtual Virginia and how we implement it in Prince Edward County Public Schools. And again, this is for next year. We don't have a lot of these things in place this year, but next year all these will be in place and you have access to this handbook. Lastly, we have created a Virtual Virginia Google site, which will be attached to the main district's website, to where you can receive updated information about Virtual Virginia. Sorry about that. So I'm going to click this link to kind of show you where it is and what it is, kind of walk you through it, because you'll need to access this website. On this website, you have this link right here that will actually take you to the presentation that you're viewing right now. This right here is very important. So this is open right now to the community, and if you like to register for Virtual Virginia, you can click this button right here and it will take you to a Google form. And this Google form is basically us getting information. You're not signing a contract or anything like that saying that you are going to send your student or your child to Virtual Virginia next year through Prince Edward. It's just saying that you might be interested. It's going to ask you some questions and it'll submit it to us so we can call you back later and discuss with you. So that is the K through 5 program. What's unique is this year they're offering something called Flex 3 through 5. They did not offer this last year. And this is similar to almost like, I don't want to say homeschooling, but it's a lot of asynchronous work is predominated by that. So it's a flexible learning option. You'll have a teacher that will meet with your child once per week, and your child would basically log on, receive all the information, get all the information from Virtual Virginia, download the task assignments and so forth, and they would complete them. Now, you're like 1 day a week, that's not enough time. At any point in time, you can speak with them. You can daily call and speak with someone with Virtual Virginia to get any kind of supports that you may need. So I'll read through this real quick. Each student is assigned a full-time Virtual Virginia teacher of record. Again, that's the person that's primarily providing educational services to your child. Core instruction is provided in math, science, social studies, reading, writing, arts, and STEM. Students have access to additional instruction, if you so choose, in arts, dance, computer science, so forth. Students primarily receive asynchronous instruction with required one-on-one synchronous check-ins. Again, that happens about once a week with the teacher and small group synchronous instruction. Students have daily access to question and help desk for individualized support. teachers hold regular office hours for parents and guardians, and Virtual Virginia partners with Prince Edward to provide any kind of additional supports like IEPs or 504s or ELL services. Again, in italics here, we have students enrolled in Virtual Virginia will follow the Virtual Virginia's calendar, not Prince Edward County Public Schools calendar. And there are quite a bit of differences between our calendar and their calendar. Again, these are the same resources I had on the previous slide, so I won't click these again. Okay, so Virtual Virginia for the 6 through 12 has, this is something new again, this for the upcoming year, it's called Select. And the students are able to select the courses they would like at the times they would like based on what they're offering. So if they have lots of offerings, say for seventh grades social studies, the student can pick what time they'd like to take that class. Same thing for math, English, science, so forth. So I'll go over this a little bit. I'll read word for word. But Virtual Virginia selects enrollment options allow students in grades 6 through 12 to choose not only their Virtual Virginia courses, but also the meeting times for synchronous instruction. So it allows full-time students to create a personalized schedule of courses from the Virtual Virginia catalog, and allows a part-time in-person student to enroll in one or more courses at a time that align with their daily schedule at the local school. This is very helpful with regards to high school students. Some of those students are part-time with Virtual Virginia, and they might need just one course, and they can fit that course into their daily schedule by the offerings that Virtual Virginia have. So I'm going to click this link right here, Virtual Virginia, because it does provide a little bit more information than the other two slides that you might find useful. It basically tells you the different courses they offer right now, and they're saying they're open. I like this graph. It tells you if they're closed, if they're open, if they're getting close to being closed, and so students can go through here and pick their schedule that they would like. Again, this link is provided on this presentation. Okay, so I'm going to talk about grading and attendance. So, Virtual Virginia will provide Prince Edward County Public Schools a numerical grade. Say if they give a 90 in one district might be an A, but in Prince Edward it might not be. So that what they do is they just provide us a numerical grade, and Prince Edward will transfer or translate that into a letter grade. The teacher of record again will be a Virtual Virginia teacher. Mentors will capture the grades from the Virtual Virginia Genius platform and communicate those to the counselor, which will be recorded in our operation system. Virtual Virginia will automatically notify mentors, counselors, parents, and students in the event that a student's grade falls below a 70%. Now, attendance is very, very important. It's important for your child to be in attendance every day, receiving that synchronous instruction, also accessing the asynchronous work that the teacher leaves. And that's what this pretty much says right through here. The key points, I really want to focus on that, is that synchronous and completion of assignments and tasks, you need to do that daily. 4 consecutive absences or unexcused absences, either one, automatically results in Virtual Virginia sending a warning to the parent, the mentor, and the student. An additional 4 excused, unexcused absences, so now they've missed 8 days in a row, will result in Virtual Virginia dropping that student from their roster. If they're dropped, depending on the circumstance, they might not be able to re-enroll, and they would have to come back or come to in-person classes. Another thing is greater than 10%, another factor is greater than 10% absenteeism rate, or greater than 10% absentee rate, may result in the school-based or division-based administration requiring the student to return to in-person instruction. The same for Flex 3 through 5. The asynchronous is, again, they should be logging on every day to get that work and to interact with that Canvas learning management system. That actually is part of the attendance monitoring. So if your child does not log on for 3 or 4 days, that's an absence, and that will count against the possibly against the school. So we want them to log on every day to receive that asynchronous work and to interact with the learning management system. Again, the weekly check-ins are very important, and if they at the elementary level get 8 absences in a row, excused or unexcused, they will be dropped from virtual Virginia and they will need to return to in-person instruction. 6 through 12 is pretty much the same way. There is a little bit of differences with electives. So I'm going to actually go to the next slide, which provides a graph. So core K through 5, 4 consecutive days, the alert is provided. Same thing for flex 3 through 5. But let's get down here to the miss 8 days. So we can see that they're required to return to in-person instruction. But if it's an elective at the middle school and they've missed 8 days for just that elective class, we would do a reinstatement conference for that student. At the high school, if the elective class is not needed for graduation, we will do a reinstatement conference then also. However, if if the elective class is counted towards graduation and they need that class for their diploma, they will be asked to return to in-person instruction. Okay, success, supports, and supplies. To be successful in virtual Virginia, because it is very different than in person, um, there's a degree of motivation and independence that the student will need to exhibit. So they need to do that by checking emails every day, um, log into Canvas at least once a day, and check each class at least once a day. Connect your email and calendar to your phone. That's a suggestive practice. Pay attention to due dates. In virtual Virginia, late assignments will close and then you cannot access them after a certain point in time. I believe I'm not sure exactly what that time frame is, so it is important again to log on every day and to make sure you're turning in assignments before the deadline. Don't forget you're on the virtual Virginia calendar and schedule, not Prince Edwards. Create a schedule for yourself and follow it. Talk to your virtual Virginia teachers. They really want to help you and are willing to. And my interactions with them, they are very willing to help their students. So, student support. Parents, you are able or you have access to a parent auditor account. You need to speak with the school's counselor, whether it's at the elementary, middle, or high, to get information on how to access that. Each student will be assigned a PECPS mentor who will serve as basically a liaison between the student, the school, the parents, and the virtual Virginia instructors regarding students' performance and progress. Mentors will provide weekly check-ins with students. They will monitor your child's grades and they'll communicate with parents and guardians as needs arise. They also communicate with me and Built-in level administration. This link right here, if you click this, it'll take you to this website, which will pretty much just will go over what I just mentioned. Some successful tips on how to be successful in virtual Virginia. Okay, so technology needs. Virtual Virginia students have access to the following technology devices and equipment. They have access to a Chromebook and a charger, a headset with a microphone. If they need a hotspot, the school division will provide a hotspot for your child. And then technical support from our staff. Anytime there's a technical related issue, they can call the school or call me, and we'll get them situated and help them any way we can. The supplies. There's a link here to where you can click to go through K through 5 supply list. And again, you have access to this, or you will have access to this presentation very shortly. And with regards to the supplies per class, like at the 6 through 12 level, it's really this site will be very beneficial for you because different classes require different things. And so just go through this with your child to see what supplies that they're asking for that particular class. Okay, so the important dates when to enroll. The enrollment is actually already opened, and as soon as this presentation is over, if you want to, you can go ahead and click that enrollment um, link right here on the division's website, which again will take you to that form, and you put your interest or put that information in there indicating your interest. So, next steps: address follow up questions with individual schools and school counselors or with me. Any questions you may have, we wanted to help you. Complete the Virtual Virginia interest form no later than the deadlines already mentioned on this slide right here. Again, the deadline for fall enrollment or full year enrollment is July 15th, 2022. And after we get that information from you, we're going to meet with the school counselor to enroll and register for classes. School counselors will reach out to students and families to arrange this conversation. Some frequently asked questions, and again, this is it has the wrong date, but it's same from last year. You can click this link, and it has a lot of a lot of answers to questions that typically arise about for Virtual Virginia. There's also a frequently asked questions section on this website. And I now cannot find it. I apologize for that. I'll place the link right down here. I do not see it right now, but as soon as this meeting's over, I'll place the link down here under the resources. So that ends our information session. I do see one question. That was more of a statement, not a question. So, guys, do you guys have any questions to where you'd like to that I didn't answer? Dr. Wallace, was there anything that you'd like to say, or Mr. Walker?
Yeah, I was going to say that we put the link to your website that has all the Virtual Virginia information on the main Prince Edward website. So I can share my screen really quickly and just show that so you see exactly where to go. Oh, sorry.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and can you share your screen? Are you sharing your screen right now, Mr. Walker?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Um, and so just on our main website, if you scroll down here, this was the flyer for tonight, and right above that, I just added something temporary until we get a kind of a better graphic, because eventually the Virtual Virginia stuff will be in one of the drop down menus. But for right now, it's right here under what's trending. You can just click on it, and that takes you right over to the Virtual Virginia site that Mr. Foster just went through with you. So that is how you get to that.
And Mr. Walker, can you scroll down a little bit on that site, on the site that on the actually the Virtual Virginia site?
Mhm.
So that middle option there, the enrollment questionnaire, you might want to take some time to actually go through that because it gives various prompts whether virtual learning is right for you or your child, because again it is different in person compared to virtual, and they'll kind of give you a good idea of what your child will be experiencing as a Virtual Virginia student. That's not required. It's just if you would like.
Well, I don't have anything else, so
All right. Well, guys, if there's nothing else, I don't see any more questions. I do appreciate you joining us this afternoon and look forward to serving you as you enroll your child in Virtual Virginia. Thank you and have a good night.